in 1983. My Aunt Cindy flew me to LA for the first time during spring break. Cindy was, at that time, at least the line producer for the premier commercial director for a lot of years. She became an executive producer for Tony and Ridley Scott. And when I would say Cindy Aikens, people knew who she was. When I got to come to LA, I was excited about seeing new things and experiencing something that was completely different from what I grew up knowing. So as soon as she picked me up from LAX, we went directly to the complex. And as we're walking up the steps into the courtyard, she pointed to the apartment that was catty-corner to her and said, Stephen Collins lived there. She said Tales of the Gold Monkey, and that was not a show that I missed. And so to find out that he lived next door to my aunt, yes, I was absolutely starstruck. I remember wanting to get a headshot from him. When I knocked on the door and he opened the door, he was a tall, blonde-haired, blue-eyed god that was really nice and drove a sports car. There's the Polaroid that I posed with Stephen. Stephen Collins asked me where I was from and what I was doing there. He was very tuned in. It's almost an electric charge. Like immediately it's the lean in, it's the touch, it's the I'm paying attention to you and nobody else on the planet exists. I mean, and as a very naive child, that becomes all enveloping. I told him I was a big fan of the show and I asked him for a signed headshot. And he said that he would have his people get that to me. That felt good for a 13-year-old that had never met a movie star before. It was a big deal. A couple of days into my trip, I was in the kitchen cooking. And the kitchen opens up with French doors into the private courtyard. So I was inside, and I was in my nightgown, and I look up, and I see Stephen Collins. He was in the courtyard. He was going left to right, and he had a wad of clothes in his hands, and he was completely naked. Did I just see that? Did I just see what I thought I saw? That was so jarring and so unexpected. I mean, I definitely saw him, and I know he saw me standing there.
You might imagine that any 13-year-old seeing that would either scream or ask for help, but that tends not to be how people react. When people are in confusing situations, I mean, this poor girl is just setting up her gaming station, and to be exposed to someone who is expressing dominance and control with a sexual behavior, that is traumatizing.
At this point, now I'm completely flustered. How do you react to that? What's the purpose of this? Why? All I know is I was supremely shocked, very uncomfortable, and still didn't want to insult him because he was kind to me and nice and doing me a favor. So I'm trying to look him in the face and have a conversation with him as if nothing was going on. I never said anything, first of all, because we all know I wouldn't have been believed. And now you overlay what happened with Stephen Collins, who is a known actor, charismatic, gorgeous, all of these things, and you add those two traumas together. My response as an adult, when I look back at it, with me trying to bury it and not say anything, there's reasons that I didn't. And I can see why I didn't. Close to the end of the trip, I am laying out in the courtyard in my bathing suit, but was completely secluded. This was the swimsuit that I would lay out in. We're not talking about sexy bathing suits here. And into the courtyard walks Stephen, dressed fairly nice, and sits down by me. He was very close. And, I was like, I'm getting ready to go home pretty soon. Somehow talking about Tales of the Gold Monkey. And he says, I have some of the memorabilia from that show in my apartment. And of course, I'm perking up. Really? And he goes, yeah, you want to come see it?
It is weird and creepy that an adult man wanted a child's attention this much.
So I get up from laying there, so in nothing but my bathing suit, and follow him into his apartment. The part of me that was still upset about the exposure before is going and justifying, he won't do that again. He won't do that again. This should be fine. So the memorabilia from the show and some pictures and stuff setting up on the top of this credenza. And I'm standing there and I'm looking at it. And he goes, "Do you mind if I go get more comfortable?" So I'm looking at this stuff and he comes walking back from the bedroom completely nude. And my stomach just fell. And I'm like, now I'm actually scared. I'm in this man's apartment, I'm in a bathing suit, and he's naked. This is bad, this is really bad. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Sitting on the couch at this point, I was as rigid and as tight and as small as I could make myself. And I'm looking anywhere but at him. And he's nonchalantly like fiddling around the apartment like there was nothing going on. He goes up, there's a standing lamp that's right beside me, and he's screwing in a light bulb. And I mean, literally eye level, completely nude man, and I'm in his apartment, and I don't know what I'm gonna do.
How long do you feel like it went on?
I would say the entire instance, probably 20 minutes maybe.
In my experience, oftentimes these perpetrators will be self-stimulating. Now, she does not remember that, but the duration of all this makes me wonder if something like that was happening. And remember, a 12 or 13-year-old, they don't understand what's happening. It doesn't even get laid down in memory.
I was completely defenseless and helpless in his apartment. And about that time, Cindy walks by. And she had come home from work early, unexpectedly. And the minute I saw her, I mean, just like that, there's my aunt, I gotta go by. Boom, and I'm gone. There was no time for him to say, hey, don't talk about this, or hey, this was okay. He didn't even have a chance to say bye. Like, I was gone. And I immediately go into her apartment and get in the shower. Sometimes the biggest monsters have the prettiest faces. You can't just trust that people that are nice to you and kind and charismatic, not everybody that's nice to you has nice intentions. I didn't realize when I first moved out to Hollywood and started working in the industry, Stephen Collins, I didn't expect to see him again because mainly I worked on TV commercials. Sometime around 1997, I was asked to do the affiliate promos for CBS. I'm sitting at the craft service table and doing my job, and they give me a shot list, and oh my God, Stephen Collins is coming on to do promos. He was a person that I hadn't seen for like 14 years. I want you to know what I did was extremely wrong. I feel terrible about it. Please forgive me. All of a sudden, I thought, I don't have to worry about this anymore. He is sorry. He is contrite. So I kept my mouth shut. Looking back, I don't think it was sincere. I think it was damage control, because all of a sudden, here is one of my little indiscretions that I shouldn't have done that actually could put words to it and hurt my career.
I don't know Stephen Collins, but I just have this deep concern that he doesn't care about the people he has power and control over. He's manipulative. He plays on people's affections.
And it's far worse than April realized.